Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. I'm Sarah Martin with The Contoured Chemist. Can you tell a difference in me today? I'm gonna have to clip this back so it'll be out of the way. But can you tell I have half of my face done? Half of my face is hacked and half is clearly not. So today I wanted to go over a half of a face tutorial and make it a more detailed how to hack video, because to be honest, I have not done a half face tutorial in quite some time, and pretty much I've discovered a lot more about this makeup since then, and I've changed my methods. I'm always learning new stuff, and I have changed the way I've been applying it a lot differently than I used to a year ago. So if you want to see a detailed how to hack version of this half of my face, keep watching. If you like videos like this, please hit that like button and be sure to subscribe so you see my next video, and thanks for watching. Okay, so let's get right to it. For all of my newbies to Maskcara Beauty, hacking stands for highlight and contouring. So if you've never seen this beautiful makeup, it is a cream-based system. So what we do is we use two creams, a highlight and a contour, in order to highlight your best features, bring attention to those eyes, and then we add that contour in to give your face that three-dimensional look, to lift those cheekbones and really chisel out your bone structure. So the whole premise of the makeup is enhancing those things that we love and using that contour to make those things that we don't love so much recede, and bringing out all of our best features, which, I mean, who doesn't want that in makeup, right? And it's made to be quick and easy and customizable. So all of your colors are in one magnetic compact. You pretty much pick your colors based on your skin tone, your likes, your preferences. And then when you're out of one, you just pop it out. No more waste, and no more wasted time digging through a makeup bag when it's all right there at your fingertips. So that's Maskcara Beauty in a nutshell, and I'm gonna show you how we do it. So I warn my girls that this makeup is different. It is not like traditional foundation, and I know that can be a little bit scary when we just know, we know how to put on makeup for, shoot, how long have I been wearing makeup? Probably 15 plus years, 20 years, and you get in a rut, okay? You're used to it, it's comfortable, I get that, but it is so fun to try something new. That is so much better if you just give it a little bit of time, patience, and are willing to try something new. I promise you it is so worth it. I could have never gotten this kind of a look in less than 10 minutes with my traditional makeup. This baby is a game changer. So I'm going to show you guys how I apply, how I do now for my skin, because I've learned a lot about this makeup and I don't just slap on one color all over now. I really try to pay attention to my skin, and I look and see what it needs. Okay, so if you guys cannot tell, I have some redness. I have hyperpigmentation. I've got lots of freckles, and I have this red mask area that goes through here. I even have some in my forehead and on my chin. I kind of covered up half of it, but I'm gonna address that first. So with mascara creams, you look at your face and you want to address those darkest parts of your face first, because unlike traditional makeup, you don't put the lightest down first. You don't use the concealer and then put one color foundation all over. The makeup's designed so you can only add it where you want, but for my skin and for a lot of people out there, if you have any issues that need extra color correction, is what I call it, then you always apply that darkest shade first. And that is where the money maker is, in my opinion, because if you can get a really good match to your skin, it helps with longevity, it doesn't increase texture, it gives you that smooth, flawless canvas, and it really helps with the coverage of your makeup. So if you like a more full coverage look, which I don't feel like this looks makeup-y or really crazy full coverage, I consider it a medium coverage, but this makeup is designed to where you want to build it up in thin layers. So you can do a really natural, really thin layer, and you would really be able to still see some of that coming out in my skin tone. But with a little extra color correction, that's what minimizes all that redness and why you can't see it anymore. So I'm gonna jump in and I'm gonna use the Buffy brush, and I'm gonna use this brush for my highlight because I feel like it gives you a little bit more coverage, and I just love this brush for being able to press on multiple highlight shades to really get better coverage. So I am just barely touching the cream, not swiping into the makeup. I'm touching it and that's it. This makeup is so different. I know we're used to putting on a lot, but this makeup, look how much just a little goes such a long way. In fact, I don't even need to go in for more makeup for this entire area, and it completely concealed that redness. So I'm just gonna touch it again, and for each area I want, this is where I talk about thin layers, okay? And I am going in anywhere I'm darker. So my nose is darker, I've got that redness there, and then I've got not horrible dark circles, but they're purple, and I wanna minimize that purple. So I'm gonna go all the way in, and I'm just gonna give a nice thin layer of that mango. And this mango is my color corrector. Its undertones are what helps minimize that redness, that purple tones. It is really good for it's really good for a lot of color correction issues. So, of course, you don't have to know anything about these colors. You send me your beautiful face and I will pick all the colors that are perfect, especially for your skin tone. The color match questionnaire is in the description box below. If you need a match, I'd be happy to help you. So you can tell I also have some blemishes here. I'm just gonna pick up a really good brush for spot coverage. I'm gonna use this tiny little end of the Multitasker, and I'm just going to use that same shade, Mango, because it is amazing at redness, dark spots, hyperpigmentation, acne scars, you name it, it can do it for my skin tone. Obviously it changes depending on what base colors you use. So I have minimized my redness. I'm almost completely evened out, but that skin or that color overall is a little too dark for me, at least for my preference. I don't want to be too much darker than my neck. So I'm gonna go in with another shade, same brush. This time I'm gonna use Sandy, again, barely dabbing, and I'm gonna go right over that color I just placed, but I am being sure to press it on, okay? I am literally stamping, stippling, pressing, pouncing, whatever you wanna call it. With this makeup, it goes on so nicely when you don't swipe. That's when you can get, if you're too heavy-handed, it can really show streaking, brush marks, and I really recommend trying to just push it onto the skin when you're starting off. So I'm just going all over with a very light hand. You probably can't even tell much of a color difference. Very light hand of that color, just to make sure everything is matching. And I kind of pounced off my blemish coverage there. Just gonna add a little bit more and make sure I didn't miss right down the middle where I was trying to show you my half a face. So now I am completely evened out with my highlight, and we'll go back to highlight in a second when we get to accent brightening. But here is where all the magic happens, and this is where we add in that dimension, that sculpting, okay? Our faces are not flat, they are three-dimensional. So contour is anywhere we want to recede. So light brings it forward, okay? So we're going to brighten around the eyes to actually bring attention to the eyes. We're gonna contour anywhere we want to recede. So I'm gonna show you now my favorite brush to contour with, and this is the Detail HAC. This brush is my absolute favorite. I can't stop. And I'm gonna use olive contour. Now, this is the way I like to pick it up. It might seem a little weird, but this video is supposed to be detailed. So I'm gonna take it at an angle. Now this contour is pretty dry, especially when you compare it with the consistency of our highlights, which are very creamy. But the contours are meant to really stay put where you put them. So you take that brush at an angle, and I want you to pounce it. Again, no swiping. In order to really get this color on the brush, I find pouncing is the best way, in my opinion at least. So can you see how it's on half of my brush? Okay, that's gonna really help me with placement. Now when you are contouring for the first time, I want you to either dip your head down. Can you see where that hollow is? Sometimes you have to move your head around if you don't want to look, but you want to feel for it. Kind of roll a pencil. Find that indentation where your cheekbone, under your cheekbone, okay? If anything, you can even place it slightly on your cheekbone, but you want to go just under, but you never want to go below that, okay? So the farther down you go, the more it's going to drag down your face. You're not going to get that lift that we want to see from a cheek contour. And I'm starting with cheeks because I feel like it's the hardest. Forehead, the rest of it is easy peasy. So take the bottom part of where you place that contour, okay? Naturally, you're gonna have the deepest area of shadow back here by your ear, right? So the biggest mistake people make is they start right here, and then they get this big blob of contour, and then they're working too hard to try to blend that out. So what you wanna do is you wanna start right up here in your hairline, okay? And you're gonna stamp it right there, and you're gonna go right along that hollow. And I'm just barely touching my face, and you can see it is stamping that color right on there. Okay, now I'm stopping, let's see if I can do this, right at the corner of my eye, okay? And the reason for this is, for one, we all have smile lines, okay? If you get inside these smile lines, it starts looking like a mustache, not a contour, not a pretty look. We don't want that, okay? And then the farther out here we stay, the more it's gonna lift those cheeks, okay? It's not going to, it's gonna start looking odd when it starts getting in here. Technically, when you are looking straight ahead, you shouldn't see much of any of your contour. It should be blending out by this point. So I stop there. It's naturally gonna blend in slightly when we blend it. But if you stop there, that is a good rule of thumb, okay? Right along that line to the corner of the mouth, top of the ear, and just by pressing it on like that, it's already starting to fade upwards, which is what we want. So the easiest way to blend a contour, in my opinion, is not to swipe. When you start going in here like this and swiping, suddenly you're gonna look at me and you're gonna be like, my contour's gone, I don't see it. What's the problem? This color isn't showing up on me. And it's not it. Either you're not applying enough, the color's not right for you, maybe you're using way too light of a contour shade for your skin tone. But if you just pounce it on, and then what I like to do is just kind of barely move up my brush and keep pouncing. Keep pressing, keep stippling as I move up. It is going to naturally blend the top of that contour line. Now, depending on your preference, you might think that is way too strong of a contour. You can then also press that bottom part, but you want to keep that area in between dark, okay? You want to keep that contour showing. Otherwise, it's not going to look like you've contoured at all. But you can also go down and kind of press. I like this brush because it gives me a slightly more defined line, and I don't usually even touch the bottom part of that contour. I just blend it up. You never want to pull your contour down. Got it? Okay. Now, same thing. And we're gonna go along the hairline. So you can kind of see how I already did it here. Okay, just press it. Now, depending on your face shape will depend on how you want to contour your forehead, but all the same rules apply. Along the hairline, push it into your hair so that you don't have a line, like a white line where your hair starts, okay? And then pull down into the highlight. Okay, now I have a wide forehead, so I go all the way down to my temples, okay? You can go all the way down and simply connect them if you want. I kind of go to about right here, okay? That gives the illusion of a slightly more narrow forehead. I also have a high forehead. So if you're one of those lucky people that have small foreheads, I mean, I have like a lot of fingers width, okay? So the farther down on your forehead you go, it will recede. So it's gonna make this top portion recede, go back, and it's gonna give the illusion of a shorter forehead, okay? So personal preference, how far or wide you go. Okay, jawline. Okay, same thing as when you start up here. You want to start where the shadow is naturally the darkest. And I always make sure I'm showing people it's under the jaw, okay? So I am not gonna go here on the side of the face where you're gonna see a line. I'm going, if you feel upwards, under the jaw, okay? And I just simply go all along here, defines that. Then I pull it down my neck so I never have any lines. Lines are bad, okay? Easy, jawline, done. This can really disguise jowls if you have them. Just darken that area, pull it down, and you've got that definition. So it was really hard for me to do half a face when I couldn't do half a nose contour. So I am actually, I don't have that color in my compact. I'm gonna grab a slightly cooler contour. So I was using Olive for my cheeks, which is a neutral contour. It's got both those warm and cool tones, so it gives a little bit of warmth, which is what I like. When my nose, you saw it before, it had red in it, okay? The warmer the contour you put on your nose, the more it's gonna bring out that red, and most people naturally have some red in their nose. So I am gonna go ahead and pick up Ash, which is a cool contour. There's several to choose from, and I am just going to run the very edge of my brush, I don't know if you can see that, in the contour. And since I didn't do either side of my nose, I'll show you the full nose. So I'm gonna take that and I'm gonna, right where my nose starts going downward, act like there's like a pencil in between your nose. You're gonna just pull a stripe down, okay? And this is my quick and easy contour, okay? Another stripe. Get more on the brush if you can't see it. I'm trying to make this dark enough where you guys can see, but not so dark that it's gonna look odd. Okay, and then I take a little bit more on the end, and this is another reason why I love this brush. Contour it all with this brush. And you're gonna kind of go to a point, triangle, end of your nose. Then I'm gonna just take that line and I'm gonna blend it all the way up into my brows. And you've just hacked your nose. Now this is going to make your nose appear thinner. And you'll notice when we accent highlight the money, because contour isn't where the magic happens with noses, it's highlight. So we'll get back to that when we get to that. The next place I like to contour is under my lip. I tried to do it on half of it, but I don't know if you can tell. Same thing, this brush, and just simply under the lip. It is gonna give the appearance of a fuller lip. Look at that. I mean, it's crazy. We're just playing with shadows, okay? I already did my brows. You can also fill in your brows with contour. So we are on to accent. And I like to do it in this order because you'll see when we add that, if you contoured first, then when we go into brighten, it's gonna save you a step. So let's pick back up the Buffy, and this time I'm gonna go in with the smaller end and we're going to accent brighten. So you guys might be thinking, this girl is crazy, she's using 3 highlight shades, but I promise it takes no more time to dip into this shade versus this shade. Like, put this on, dip into this one. It's so quick. I can do my makeup using 3 highlights a lot faster than I could using 1 foundation shade before. So I barely tapped in. This is Aura, and I am gonna go all the way up to the side of where that contour was, and I'm gonna go all the way over under my eye. And then I'm gonna go all the way down along that contour line, because with contour, when we're contouring our noses, and I'm gonna do a little bit over here because I hadn't contoured my nose yet. Okay, keep these sides light and bright. It's gonna help give that appearance of a slimmer nose. Then we're gonna go all the way up, and we're doing this magical triangle pie piece formation. Okay, and this is where we are bringing this area forward. We are bringing light and we are bringing attention to the eyes. So I already did here. Now I couldn't really do half, so I'm gonna show you. We also do middle of the forehead, right there, all the way down in between the brows actually. And that connects with a thin line down the center in between those contour stripes, a little bit on the Cupid's bow and center of the chin. Okay, now you can take that brush, start pressing it in, okay? When you start layering highlights, it's important to press in the color, and I will show you how we make it look like skin. So this is gonna be that triangle light in the center of your forehead, and then I'm gonna press in here, here. Sometimes I like to take my fingers down my nose. Before we perfect it. Now, a lot of people probably are like, this is the same thing as a beauty blender. I need to do an entire video on the perfector so you guys, you can't even compare until you feel them. So don't skip this step. I know it seems kind of like you might not need it, but this is where, and I don't know if you could tell, I just kind of pounced it a little bit, but can you tell how this side looks more like makeup than this side? And that's because this side I have already perfected, okay? I take this and I am not sweeping. You never want to sweep the perfector. You're pouncing, okay? I like to use the pointed area to get in around the eye and the nose right here where creams might collect. Then I flip it around and I am going to pounce everywhere else. this is what's going to remove any excess, especially if you used more than one highlight color. If I could even zoom in so you could see what it looks like, it doesn't look pretty yet because it's sitting on top of the skin. So this is what removes any of that excess and presses it into the skin. So it no longer looks like makeup afterwards, it looks like skin. And that is what makes mascara so different. The creams literally sit, they call it like a second skin, because they almost melt into the skin. Now, I went over an entire video about ingredients and how they don't actually ever penetrate your skin. They're too large to actually go into your skin and clog your pores. But they appear to, because they don't sit on top of your skin like traditional makeup does. It doesn't look dry or flaky. It doesn't set, so it doesn't crack through the day. It just looks like a second skin. Okay? Okay. So now that I'm fully covered and brightened, but I'm still not done, okay? I don't know if you can tell the difference, but I've added lip and cheek on this side and a little bit of bronzer, and this side I have not, so I'm feeling a little flat. This is kind of, it just does not look as natural without that lip and cheek tying together your contour. So I'm getting out the B Squared. It's a blush and bronzer brush. Let's go ahead and add lip and cheek first. So this is Summer Love. It is one of our satin finishes, so it's gonna give that nice glow to the cheek, okay? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna smile, okay? I'm gonna go slightly to the outside. Now, we just brightened this entire area, so I don't wanna get it too close to the nose. Like, my rule is like 1 to 2 finger widths away. I can't talk. Away, and then because this is going to drop down, we don't want it down here. We want to keep it upwards. They say it makes you look younger if your blush starts above your nose. So I'm going to do it. I'm going to start pouncing right here, and again, I stipple everything. And because I added those multiple highlight shades concealing all that redness, I don't want to move around that product underneath. I don't want that redness to show back through. A lot of this makeup is all in application techniques and learning what works for your skin. Okay, so I've connected that. I went right along that contour. When there's a gap in between, it looks off. So make sure you've really connected those two, and then it looks like it was meant to be. So I'm gonna flip the brush over and I'm gonna dip into Bella bronzer. Now, if you are a bronzer girl and you've never tried a cream bronzer, you will be obsessed, because it's not going to make your skin look dull and dry. It will give you a glow and make your skin look more youthful. It's so amazing, and it's really buildable. So start with a little, you can build up for more color. Amazing. So I'm just gonna take a little bit of Bella, and I'm going to just go right over my cheeks. I feel like this kind of helps blend the edges of my blush, make sure there's no weird lines. And then I like to go around here. Now I steer clear of the center of my forehead because I just brightened that. And then I go a little bit on my nose and my chin, and always down the neck. Okay, so tie that all in together. Okay, so we have highlighted, contoured, bronzed, which is completely optional, but the last color, oh, sorry, lip and cheek. I always forget to mention, it goes on your lips too. I'm just not a lipstick girl. Lip and cheeks are multitaskers. So then the fourth color that makes up our 3D foundation is the Illuminator. Okay, this is what you don't want to skip. I know so many people want to skip it, but this is what makes you it gives you that youthful glow, that lit from within. Now, I don't know if you can tell, I put on a couple over here. I love the creams and I love the powders. It's all personal preference. So we have two different kinds. This is Angel. I loved add it with the Perfector. Okay, I'm just gonna go right above where I added that lip and cheek. So I'm steering clear of all these wrinkles, okay? So I'm going under those and above my blush, right on that cheekbone. And I love the Perfector to add it because you just can press it on. It blends out the edges. You never have fingerprints that where you applied your illuminator. You can go down the nose, Cupid's bow, and then under the brows, inside corner of the eyes. I'll show you that with the next. So we also have powders. So this is Georgia and the Best Blend Forever. Okay, now these babies are pigmented. So I'm just gonna tap and I'm gonna tap off because I like the glow, but I don't want so much where it's like blinding. So this still looks natural to me, but not unnatural. I don't know. I got a little too far in there. And then I like to just flip the brush around and go inside corners. That's when you can go under the brow. This one is gonna give a lot more of a wow factor kind of glow. So last but not least, creams, like I said, don't set. So I have wrinkles, okay? It is no secret. I need to set under my eyes because otherwise I'm very expressive in the way I talk. So otherwise I will get creasing. Now, if you don't care about creasing, if you'd rather just throughout the day go like this, you're good. You want that just glowy, dewy look. You don't have to use a powder. I only use a powder under my eyes. That's the only place. If you have oily skin, you can press a powder in anywhere you are oily. So I'm just gonna barely go in with a little bit of our vanilla dust, and that's all it takes. Like, less is more. Use the least amount of powder as possible, and you are golden. And then I like to always touch up my shadow under my eyes after I do my eye makeup, or my under eyes, to make sure it's all blended out. And then I stay spray to set it. That is it. This is gonna lock it in place, and this gives a dewy finish. So I tell everyone, if you like dewy, spray last. If you like matte, powder last. If you like a mix of both, spray and then only powder the areas you want matte. Make sense? Give me that glow. I just want dewy. I love it. It makes your skin look more youthful, more alive. I mean, who doesn't want to look 10 years younger? All right, I matched both sides of my face. See? Wasn't that easy? So super simple and easy. I love how customizable this is, how obviously we have eyeshadows. I already did my eyes, sorry. All right, guys, so that was hacking with, I showed you multiple brushes. You don't have to. You can do it all with one brush, an even smaller compact if you want less choices than I do, but let's be real. I like options. So if you have any questions, don't hesitate to shoot me a message, email me. All my contact info is below. Follow along with me on Instagram. That's where I like to hang out. And if you want to try it, shoot me that color match. I would love to help you. So thanks again for watching. I hope this helped. Love you guys.